My name is Kyla Martin, and I own Kyla Martin Coaching and Consulting. I've always been fascinated with psychology, and particularly the intersection between psychology and communications. In fact, I spent most of my career in that field. I remember early on in my educational life being fascinated with psychology books and analyzing people. My family loved it when I did that. And yet I didn't pursue that field. I thought that I was intended to be a writer, and so I pursued that field. And I spent most of my career being privileged as an executive speechwriter and got to work with some of the most extraordinary leaders on the planet. And yet, as I reached the pinnacle of my career, I knew that something was missing. I always love that quote by Thoreau: "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you imagined." And I knew I wasn't living the life I imagined. I started having trouble sleeping. I started having debilitating migraines. I started to dread Monday mornings. I had the case of the Mondays. And so I began my own journey, the journey to uncover the life that I was supposed to be living. So Kyla Martin Coaching was born out of my own process and my own journey to uncover and live the life that I was imagining for myself. And so I started to undertake a process to really look back at my life and see where the moments were that I felt the most joy, that I would do something for free, that I found myself lost in the journey. And those whispers started to bring together what my purpose in life was. And so now that's the process that I use in my coaching business. And for me, it is about uncovering your purpose and also applying your purpose. Because unfortunately, fear starts to get in the way during our uncovering and applying process. And so we want to continue to stay on top of that, and I teach my clients techniques to overcome that, because that is unfortunately what robs us of our life imagined. So my favorite quote is, "Seek first to understand." And so I spend a lot of my time in my practice really understanding how my clients arrived where they are, because that story, that uncovering, is where all the beautiful magic and nuggets are for their life imagined. And so we uncover them together, we create an action plan, we create a work back plan so that their rational brain stays turned on, and their emotional brain, which says you can't do that, who do you think you are, stays turned off. And we literally create a plan for their life imagined, action steps, accountability, so that they have a clear process and approach to get there. It is often the fear that says to you, you can't go after this. You need the security of the life that you currently have. You need the pension that your company offers. You need the 40 hours a week that you're currently working. And what if your new life includes 80 hours a week? And so your brain starts to tell you that you can't go about this. And that's why fear is so critical in this process, to understand and overcome and create a way to work around it. Because fear is the lowest part of our brain. It kept us alive years ago, but now we don't need it. And unfortunately, in the chaotic world that we live in now, fear feels like our intuition, but it's not. It is literally the lowest part of our brain. It just hasn't quite evolved yet. And so we want to stay in the highest part of our brain so that we can be given all the goodness and the magic and the positivity. And when your brain says to you, you can do that, you've always succeeded, that's the highest part of your brain. And that's the part we want to listen to and tap into. And that's why overcoming that fear and having tools to overcome it is such a critical part of my process. Often my clients come to me and say, I don't have time to do this, or I'm afraid to do this, I can't just quit my job tomorrow. And that's never what I'm encouraging my clients to do. So I myself used a lot of bridges to create my business and my life imagined, and I'm a huge proponent of doing that for my clients as well. So oftentimes it will be after the uncovering process, when we start to create your action plan, your accountability plan, we will work on bridges to help you get from here to there. And that oftentimes includes moving into the direction of your dreams, but again, not taking a step off a cliff tomorrow. And that, I find, really helps my clients to walk through the process in a way that they feel secure, which we all want to feel. So as much as I can give you the tips and tricks to start to overcome your fear, I also want to create safety for you, because that is what tells your brain everything's going to be okay, and you will continue to pursue the life that you want.